Hello hooligans! Today I've put together a huge selection of cool knives from Aliexpress that are sure to drive you crazy. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So here we go. CSGO players will probably recognize this model of melee weapon from the game. This is a karambit knife. Often, it is also called claw knife due to its unusual curved shape, resembling the tooth of a large predatory animal. By the way, the knife is not really that big. It belongs to the category of pocket ones. Karambit has long been used by ancient warriors in close combat. It's convenient, compact, and lightweight. After the release of the CSGO shooter, it became a favorite attribute of gamers. In the CS, this knife has many different colors. As they say, for every taste and color, there is an exact copy of it on Aliexpress. You can find it in any color you are interested in, and what's most important and pleasant is that it costs less than an online game. Such a souvenir will perfectly complement any themed costume. Alright, fans of CSGO will definitely be delighted now. If you aren't so impressed with all sorts of sophisticated knives with many uses, huge blades, and other stuff, then you will definitely like this hook knife with an amazing color. Its bright red color shimmers in the sun. This knife is the favorite weapon of the players in the world-famous shooter game, the Counter-Strike. It comes in a special case that covers the blade and can be used for carrying. It is called a hook knife because at the end of the knife there is the hook itself, which is designed to cut through fibrous materials such as ropes, slings, or seatbelts. Such a little thing can be safely presented as a gift for a gamer or a knife collector. I'm sure it'll give you joy and delight. This is a folding karambit-like knife. In order to open the knife, you just need to squeeze it in the palm of your hand. In doing so, the blade moves forward and is blocked in the open position by a stopper on the handle. In a way, opening of this knife is similar to knives with an opening spring. The built-in spring holds the knife in the closed position, but as soon as the knife moves forward slightly, the spring brings it to the operating position. Personally, I really like this knife, and what do you think in the comments? And don't forget to like it. And this is a pull-out comb. Notice, not a knife, but a comb. You can use it to play tricks on your friends. And it is a very good accessory for those who really need a comb with themselves. It does not take much space, and it can cope with its task quite well. A credit card knife. I'm sure many have heard of it. The folding design combines an elegant black knife that can take the shape of a regular credit card in a matter of seconds, and vice versa. It doesn't take up much space and is very easy to carry. It can be easily stored in the wallet compartment like a regular card for purchases, which I highly do not recommend doing because don't forget that this is primarily a melee weapon. When assembled, the edges of this credit card are securely fixed, which excludes accidental. I was really surprised when this knife coped with its main purpose quite well. Of course, it's undesirable to use it as a kitchen knife because it's not that sharp, but for outdoor activities or a collectible gift, why not? And this knife is a real find for those who like to travel to new locations and spend time in nature. It is a huge and beautiful serrated knife, but this is just the beginning. There is a compass on its handle, which will always help you navigate in an unknown area and not get confused where to go. The handle also has a cache that can be opened by unscrewing the top. It contains all the most important things in case of emergency: thread, pin, needle, match, small hook, fishing line, chalk, and a couple more items. Of course, this knife didn't pass the crash test under conditions of survival because under high pressure, its blade and handle were separated, but I think that for standard applications, it will do quite well because it doesn't cut so badly, and the presence of an internal cache is absolutely a cool addition. How about this cool knife? This is probably the most beautiful butterfly knife on the market. The knife is made of a special metal alloy, which, when hardened, turns into rather interesting colors of overheated metal. The knife itself has a curved shape, and this shape is much more comfortable in the hand, and it is almost impossible to let the knife out of your hands. All fasteners clamps are also made of very high quality, and even after a long time of use, the knife will open and close just as perfectly. As for me, every man, and not only, looking at this knife probably wants to cut some sausages. And this is a very beautiful throwing knife that Minato Namikaze often used. It is called Kunai of the Flying Thunder God, or simply Minato Kunai. The knife itself is small in size and looks like a conventional throwing weapon. It has a beautifully engraved handle with a kanji inscription, endurance, love, and sword. These blades differ from ordinary ones by the presence of 3 blades instead of 1. The toy version comes in a leather case and comes in 2 colors, gold and silver. By its distinctive marks, the model is absolutely identical to the weapon from Naruto, but it's far from the real knife here. It is evident that the blade is made of the simplest materials, although it has a reflection, but still, this thing is cool. I would be very happy to give it to a manga lover or buy it for myself as a souvenir. This is a throwing knife with LED flashlight and fuse. As you have already noticed, this is not an ordinary knife. Its handle completely repeats Alaska 47. The Chinese are really good at this, and they always do it well. The flashlight can change the angle in relation to the line of the blade of the knife. It is activated by a slight twist. When the safety is removed, the blade ejection button is activated to the working position. In general, the design works very clearly. There is no backlash of the blade and no jamming of mechanisms. At first glance, this looks like most ordinary wrist bracelet, but it's not as simple as it might seem. It is actually a knife disguised as a bracelet. I think it's an interesting idea. A big thumbs up to the creator. As for me, such a thing can be very useful and not necessarily in survival, but even in everyday life, even if you gathered for a barbecue party or rest with friends. Also pay attention to the bracelet wickerwork. It's rope. Anyone who has already been on a hike knows that it is always important to have a rope with you. It always comes in handy in different situations. And these are throwing knives. In general, they are designed for throwing at a target, but they can also be added to your collection. The distinctive feature of such knives is a blunt blade. Only tip of the blade and a couple of centimeters around it should be sharp. Around it, they come in dagger type, in the form of a spade, a petal, a circle with protrusions. The handle is not always artificially connected to the cutting part. Quite often they are a single unit. I present to you a huge knife, or as it is commonly called, machete. It is a long knife with a wide blade and blade. Unfortunately, the saw blade is rather blunt, but for such a price, you can hardly expect it to be a laser sword. And most importantly, it is not an edged weapon, but refers to tools. So you shouldn't have any problems with the law. Although this is not certain, I advise you to find out before ordering machete, whether you will not have problems at customs. Friends, if you are still here and watch the video long, for sure you will agree with the fact that good knives do not happen a lot. This is a unique in its essence keychain coin with a hidden knife inside. Its size is amazing. In the assembled video, the knife is slightly larger than a coin. And by the way, though the knife is not a big one, but it is sharp enough. It can be used as a keychain to hang it on the keys. Have you ever received a package and to open it, you had nothing sharper at hand than the keys in your pocket? Now you won't have that problem. This is a metal capsule with a short blade, set at a 35-degree angle. It can easily handle a plastic bottle, cut threads, and of course easily open your parcel from China. And this is a tactical scalpel. Its blade is only 4 centimeters with a single-sided sharpening. The top is painted black, but as they say in the comments, the coating scratches easily. The handle is all plastic, with no metal strips inside. The lock is a liner, no backlash. It comes off normally with one hand at the small double-sided indentations. It is used for opening packages or picking things. Even a pencil will be very difficult to sharpen. The tip is very sharp, it is easy to get hurt. And this is a very interesting knife or scissors, or, I'm confused. In short, it is a multifunctional knife, almost a multi-tool. You can cut with it as a knife, as scissors, and you can also use it as a bottle opener. The knife is handy and sharp. It is good for going to forest or hiking, for example. And these are the claws of the Black Panther. In the script, these claws on the gloves are made of an Antarctic material similar to vibranium, anti-metal, and are capable, as the creators claim, of breaking most metals. But these claws are, of course, different from the real thing. In fact, they're not even claws, but claws, because they're sold one at a time. And in order to somehow be like the Black Panther would have to buy 5 at a time. So to buy the whole set you'll have to spend a tidy sum.